the computer said this meeting is being recorded. So I said okay to it. Like, you got to give respect to the computer also, like, so that it gives you support till the end of the session. So yeah, moving on. Last week, what we did was, what did we do? Somebody tell me.
Surrendering.
Anybody remember what we did last week?
Surrender.
Surrender and faith, right? So, connected to that very topic, okay, surrender and faith, I'm going to talk today about being and doing. You all must have heard a lot of people say, just be in your being, be yourself. But what is this exactly being all about? How do you be? How does, like, the being happen? Because we are so constantly used to being in the doing mode, we have forgotten how to be. And when somebody tells us just be, we just look at them like that. I am being. What's your problem? I am myself. Can't you see that? The thing is, we ourselves are unable to see our own being. And that's why we think that, like, doing is being, which paradoxically, in a way, it is right. But let's go a little deeper into it. So I came across this very beautiful post on Instagram, and it talked about not just about being and doing. It also talked about having. So there are these three stages of consciousness which I got to learn. In addition to being and doing, I got to understand another concept of consciousness, that is having. So I thought, let me like share this with you. Having is a state of consciousness where we are constantly coming from a stage of possessions, possessions of our material things, possessions of our relationships, possessions of, like, everything around us. The elder ones over here would probably remember the movie Diwar, in which Amitabh Bachchan says कि like, मेरे पास गाड़ी है, बंगला है, कार है, तुम्हारे पास क्या है? So he is basically coming from a place of having. His consciousness is stuck at having, collecting things, hoarding things, and the more material possessions he has, a car, a bungalow, a big office, everything, relationships also become our possessions. We think of them as our possessions. So that when we are in that state of consciousness, we are coming from the state of having. Now, having comes from a state of desire. And when we complete those desires, when we move towards um, fulfilling those desires, then we move to a state of doing. So we are operating from a consciousness of doing. And that is the state that where most of us are always operating from, the state of doing something all the time. And when we are not doing something, then it is like, I'm getting bored हो रहा है. Why am I not doing something? I need to do something. Only when we are doing something, we feel like, okay, my life is worthwhile, right? The next stage, or rather with doing, what are the parameters there? There we are operating from a space of labels, that I am a doctor, I am a lawyer, I am a professional, I am an entrepreneur, I am a business person, I am a CEO, I am a VIP, or whatever, right? We're coming from a space of where labels define our identity. Also, our status, our job, our position, everything is what is about the state of consciousness in which we are doing constantly. We are doing something to have that status, to have that position, and to have that kind of a degree or identity with which we can identify ourselves. If we don't have that, then all we say is like, oh, I'm not. When people ask ladies who are working from home, or who are doing business from home, the first thing she will always say is like, oh, I am a housewife, but I also do catering business, I also bake cakes, and I also, so the whole concept of like doing becomes so complicated for her. She feels that because she's sitting at home, she is not doing anything, even though she might be having a frolicking business running from home. So the doing is so ingrained in our mind. Like if you have a position, if you have a label, if you have a degree, then you are worthwhile. And that is what we think defines us. When we move from that space of definition, of labels defining us, of positions and status defining us, we move to a state of being. And that is a beautiful place to be in. In having the state of consciousness where we are having, we are coming from place of desire. When we are coming from a state of doing, consciousness of doing, we are fulfilling those desires. But when we are in a state of being, there is no desire. There's absolutely no desire. You are content, you're satisfied, and you feel worthy enough, even in whatever you are, in whoever you are, whether you're doing something or whether you're not doing something, you're still very content with yourself. That is the true meaning of be you. When they say that be you, you have to be completely okay with not having a label, not having a degree, not having a position, not having money, not having status, not having a car, not having a big house. I'm not saying that these things are not important. They are. But each one of us has them in the degree and manner that we have worked for, worked towards it, isn't it? Somebody else might have a bigger car, somebody else might have a bigger house. So if we are going to compare ourselves to them, then we are not going to be in a state of being. We'll constantly then again jump into the fire from the frying pan into the doing mode. Okay, like, okay, I have a car, but like that one has a better car, so like I'm going to like strive harder, keep doing to get that bigger car. And what happens when you get the bigger car? Then somebody else has a bigger car than that, and then you're constantly again doing to get that bigger car, and that doing never ends. So if you're going to be happy with the car that you have, the house that you have, the qualifications that you have, then you come to a state of being, a state of satisfaction, a state of contentment, which is called being. All right. So over here in the state of being, consciousness of being, there is no possessions, no labels, no attachments to the material possessions that we have, and no desire. And of course, no expectations also. So when you do something, now please understand, being does not mean that you stop doing everything. All right? Being doesn't mean like, okay, I'm just being, I'm not doing anything. I'm going to be. This is myself. I am just being myself. Excuse me. No, it doesn't happen like that. You have to be, to be yourself. Also, you have to do that little bit which makes you who you are. All right. So it's quite a paradox. It's quite a little complication there. You do things in a manner that identify you, not you as a label, not you as a status, not you as a position, or define you by your material possessions. You as a person, your qualities, your kindness, your loving nature, and everything that you stand for, your values, your principles, all these things make you who you are. And being true to your values, to your principles, to your ideologies is what is being. And to be that, you have to work towards it, right? You'll have to keep doing. So in one of the previous sessions, we did talk about, like, manifesting and working towards the goals and then forgetting about it, right? Leave it to the universe. Don't keep any rigid expectations of what the outcome of your doing will be. So being is that state where you do little bit to become who you are, and then leave it, let it go. Again, going back to our previous session, it's a state of surrender. All right? It is a state of surrender. And when you come from a state of surrender, and when then you do something from that space, then you arrive at the oneness. Again, what we did last time. When we surrender, we become one with everything else. Like my mother used to always say, Neki kar darya mein dal. It means you do good and then you forget about it. It is said that when you are doing some good deed, your left hand should not know what your right hand donated or gave in charity. That is what is the state of being. You do good and then you just back off, you forget about it, it's done. That is also a state of nishkam karma. When you come from a state of being, you come into a state of nishkam karma with no expectations from the other person for having done anything good for them. Then you don't talk about, okay, oh, I did so much for that person and that person behaved like this with me. It is none of your concern what the other person behaved, whether they reciprocated your kindness or not. To give, to donate, to do the charity was your personal choice, right? You did it because you wanted to feel good. So if the other person doesn't reciprocate, why blame that other person? It made you happy, right? You gave the donation, you gave the charity, you did a good deed for somebody. It made you feel happy. That's it. End of story. You don't go into like expectations from the other person what they are going to give back to you. All right, so this is the state of being, the state of complete surrender, a state of doing and yet not doing anything, not overdoing rather. So you keep doing what is needed to reach your goal, and then you let it go. Because when you come from a space of being, you become one with everything and everyone around you. We worked towards it in the last session, didn't we, last week? And this is the entire paradox of the whole situation. When you become everything, when you feel that expansive, that you are one with the universe, you are one with everyone around and one with everything, your abundance factor becomes multiplied manyfold. Because if you are everything, then everything is yours, isn't it? So you don't come from a space of lack. You come from a place of abundance. I am everything and everything is mine. And that also stops our need for wanting more and more and more. Because if everything is mine, then why will I need anything more? Everything is at my beck and call. And on the other side, the beauty of it is when you become everything, you actually become nothing. You actually become nothing. You are everything and yet you are nothing. Then the possessions don't matter, then the labels don't matter, the position doesn't matter, the status doesn't matter. So you are in a state of nothingness. Can you believe how beautiful state to be in this? That is the state of being. That is the state of nishkam karma. That is the state of surrender. That is the state of being everything and yet nothing. Am I making sense? Are you all getting what I'm saying? Yeah. Give me a thumbs up if like it's making sense to you. Oh, thank you so much. All right. So when we come from a place of nothingness, what happens? When there be when there you'll have heard of the black hole, right? Isn't it? They say the universe was created through the black hole. Yeah, Sonal, you want to say something? Please go ahead.
Yeah, black hole is, it has everything inside it, and yet it has nothing. Like the
Hmm,
shunya concept which is there, that we
absolutely.
all are from that shunya, and everything is in that shunya.
Right. So, thank you, Sonal, so much. Um, so that space of nothingness, that space, black hole, is the space of creation. And when we are in that space of creation, in that space of darkness, the black hole is dark, isn't it? There's nothing there. It's a place of darkness. When we come from a place of nothingness, it is possible to create new. When we come from a place of darkness, there is possibility of light. We are able to see the light. When there's plenty of light around, and then you light a candle in a brilliantly lit room, does the candle make any difference to the light that is already there? Not really, right? But when you light a candle in a dark room, can you understand the impact that that little flame has on the expansive darkness that surrounds it? That little flame of light, it lights up the entire room. So, darkness is not to be feared. Darkness is where creation happens. Darkness is where you get to see the light. All right? And from that darkness, everything is possible. Everything is possible. New creation is possible. A seed also germinates in the soil, in the darkness, and then it sprouts into a plant and coming out into the light and becoming a bigger plant and tree, right? So life germinates in darkness. And today it's such a beautiful day. It's new moon night. It's a night of no light. It's a dark night, isn't it? And on the other hand, the paradox, which life is all about, the sun is coming, and the darkness of the moon has taught the sun to be, to stop doing for a little while and just be. That phase of solar eclipse, that timing of solar eclipse, was the darkness of the moon teaching the sun to just be. Because in stillness is what life, new life gets created. And that is what the new moon and the solar eclipse of today brings into our lives. It's bringing us from darkness into the light. It is bringing a rebirth to all our lives. There's now a possibility of creating something new in our life. A lot of people will experience a lot of completions of karmic cycles of the old, and new karmic cycles will begin. They'll experience a completion or end of a lot of things in their life so that they can begin new things from here on and here forth. So it's a beautiful phase to be in, the dark new moon night and the solar plexus, which, not the solar plexus, I'm so sorry, the solar eclipse, okay, which is bringing in more light to us from a space of stillness, from a space of being. All right. So, new moon is a time to manifest new things. A favorite word, everybody's, manifestation, isn't it? Everybody loves that word, isn't it? So yes, new moon time is a time for manifesting, for creating new, for rebirthing, for regenerating. The full moon nights are the Purnima nights. The full moon nights are all about releasing the old, letting go of what doesn't work in our lives anymore. And the full moon night, the new moon nights are all about creating something new. How does this work? Why does the moon mean so much to us in our lives? Why are we so attached to the phases of the moon? Can anybody make a guess? I'm sure some of you all would already be knowing
Its
about
light
it.
has effect on the waves, on earth, on our lives, on water. Yeah, it affects the light
Absolutely.
of the moon, and
Ab-
also from spiritual angle, it had affected like wo Shiva and Moon ka story with Shivratri and all that. I just vaguely remember certain things
yeah,
about the moon.
you are right. You are right, Sonal.
Moon is related to man, our heart.
Moon.
Chandra
Okay.
Manaso Jatar. Our man and Chandrama is related. Like
Okay. All right.
like lunatics and all these become more violent in a full moon.
Yeah, that's right.
Is connected to
Okay. So, okay. Yes. Thank you for sharing that, Beena and Sonal. Uh, let's look at the more scientific aspect of it. Okay. We all love to go into the spiritual aspect, but our mind also wants to know, how does this work? Why does it happen like that? Right. So going into the scientific aspect of it is like our bodies are 70%, 60 to 70% water, right? The moon affects the waters of the earth, the oceans, the seas, right? They create those high tides and low tides, depending on the new moon and full moon, isn't it? So if the moon can affect the gravitational force of the moon, if it is so powerful that it affects the seas and the oceans on the surface of the earth, can you imagine what it could be doing to the 60 to 70% of water content in our bodies? The moon, gravitational force of the moon, that creates those surges in our body during those particular times. And that is why if we feel those surges of emotion coming up. And that is why people say lunatic. People go mad during the full moon time. Now, I'm not really going into the deeper aspect of it, and I'm not even subscribing to the thought or to the belief that people go mad during the full moon time. I really wouldn't go that far about, like, making that claim. But what I will say is, like, it does affect our emotions to a very large extent. And if we are able to take charge of our emotions during those periods, become aware of our own energies, then the madness doesn't hit us. Okay, so it's that simple. um like I said, full moon is a time of releasing the old, and new moon is a time of manifesting the new. Today being the solar eclipse as well as the new moon, we have the power, we have the blessing of the sun and the moon combined at this point of time, showering upon us. And that is why I said, because this is a very auspicious day to have this gathering with all of you. The sun and the moon, or the moon or the sun and the moon, are like the masculine and the feminine energies of the universe. In ourselves, in our bodies, in our psyche, we also have a masculine aspect and a feminine aspect, the left brain and the right brain. We behave in a certain manner, and then it say they people would say like, oh, she behaves so much like a man, or man would be a little sensitive and a little like caring, and they would say, why are you behaving so girly? So it is not that he is behaving girly or she is behaving manly. He is just being himself and she is just being herself. It's just that he has connected to his feminine side and become more sensitive and emotional. And she has connected to her more masculine side, her practical side, and chooses to operate from that space. So she is not being overly anything other than who she is, and he is not being overly anything than who he actually is. They are just choosing to use the other side of their brain. If a man chooses to use his feminine side, it is fantastic because that gives him a balanced existence. When a woman chooses to use her masculine side, she becomes more practical and she's able to do things in a more efficient manner. When a man connects to his feminine side, he becomes more sensitive and caring, and he is able to do whatever he is doing with a lot of sensitivity and equanimity. So how beautiful is that kind of a being? They are merging their doing and being into their personalities. They are merging their masculine and feminine into their personality and operating from a space of equanimity. We keep talking about equality all the time outside, but the equality has to be within us to begin with. And that is where we fall short of most of the time, because the world has been operating from more of a masculine energy for a very, very, very long time now. And somewhere we have forgotten to connect with our feminine side. This entire period of transition that is happening from 2012 to 2032 is taking us from the masculine to the feminine era. And there will be an equanimity and there will be a balanced existence for all of us. But to prepare for that, we have to balance first our inner masculine and feminine, right? So, on this wonderful day of solar eclipse, where we have the energies of the sun, and this new moon night, where we have the energies of the moon, let's take this opportunity and balance our inner masculine and feminine. Are you all up for it? Yeah? Okay, fantastic. So, to balance our inner masculine and feminine, we are going to call upon Archangel Gabriel and his feminine counterpart, Archangel Hope. All those who were present for the 12 chakra meditation would remember that Archangel Gabriel and Hope are the ones who are in charge of our base chakra, of our sacral chakra, and our navel chakra, isn't it? And as we move from the 3D existence to the 4D and 5D henceforth, the the sacral chakra of the 7 chakra 3D format, the sacral chakra in 4D format and further into 5D format, gets split into the sacral and the navel. Even in the 7 chakra system, you will have noticed there is no navel chakra, isn't it? But in the 12 chakra system, there is the navel chakra, because the sacral chakra splits into the masculine and the feminine aspects of our being, of our existence, making us come more into equanimity within our own selves. All right. So we are going to call Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Hope to assist us with balancing our inner masculine and feminine. All right. So put your things away, relax, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and exhale. Breathe in again and exhale. Breathe in a lot of love and let go through your exhalation everything that is not love, that does not come from a space of love. Breathe in peace and quiet. Exhale all anxiety. Breathe in a state of being and let go of the compulsive doing, of the excessive doing. Just breathe it out. Just let it go. Relax. Breathe in again. Feel the wonderful being of your existence. Let go of the need to do excessive stuff. Just let it go. Everything is in divine order. Everything is on time, in time, in the right place, and in the right dimension. Take your attention to the soles of your feet. Allow your roots to emerge from the soles of your feet, going deep, deep, deep into the ground to the center of Mother Earth, wrapping your roots around the crystalline ball in the center of Mother Earth, drawing her energies into your physical body through your roots, coming up through your soles of your feet and into your physical body. You now feel absolutely grounded, stable, and secure. Taking another deep breath, take your attention high up into the sky. And you see the great central sun up there and draw the energies from there into your crown chakra, allowing this beautiful beam of light from Father Sky, from the source, entering your crown chakra, into your physical body, and attuning you to the higher realms, connecting you to the other reality of your being, of your existence. Allow these energies of Mother Earth and Father Sky to merge at your heart level and spread throughout your body, expanding beyond your physical existence into your auric space, creating a beautiful ball of energetic shield of gold and white light around you. We call Archangel Michael to put his deep blue cloak of protection around each one of us and to surround our space in his divine blue light for our added protection. As you are now grounded, attuned, and shielded, you now call upon your gods, goddesses, spirit guides, your masters, or any other higher being that you may feel you need them beside you. Invoke their presence, call them to accompany you in this journey where you have embarked to find the balance of your inner masculine and feminine you. You might find Shiva and Shakti come down and support you in this endeavor. You might find angels and spirit guides and masters and gods and goddesses from the higher realms coming to assist you, to support you in this journey. Thank them for coming. Breathe in and breathe out. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, you find yourself in the midst of a big, dark energy ball. It is pitch dark inside, but not to worry. Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Hope are both right beside you. Gabriel is holding on to your left hand, and Hope is holding on right, and you feel absolutely safe in their presence. You walk into the darkness deeper and deeper. It is like this big black hole that you have always heard about. And you ask Archangel Gabriel and Hope, is it safe to walk in? And they said, yes, we are here to take you through this darkness. There is nothing to fear. This is the place of creation. This is the place of rebirth. This is the place of regeneration. And then it dawns on you that this is the great cosmic womb that you are sitting in. You have walked into the great cosmic womb, the universal womb of creation. It reminds you of the time when you were in the womb of your mother, floating in the amniotic fluid, floating in the beautiful darkness, the velvety darkness that was there around you in your mother's womb, where you were a little fetus. You had tiny hands, tiny fingers, tiny body, tiny little head, arms, legs. You see yourself as that little fetus, that little baby who was in the womb of your own mother, now seated in the womb of the universal mother. The great cosmic womb holds you as a little baby within itself. It is a safe place, you know. It is where everything is available to you. It is a place where you do not have to worry about doing anything. It is a place where you have been before, and the being you are remembering now. You're enjoying the state of being that you once enjoyed in the womb of your mother. Archangel Gabriel and Hope ask you, what is it that you would like to create today? Is it a new project? Is it a new idea? Is it a new creative venture? What is it that you would like to birth today? They are offering you the opportunity of birthing a new you as well. Remember, you're in the cosmic womb. And whatever you choose to create in here in the darkness, you will carry it forward into the light. When you birth yourself, when you are ready to birth this new idea, this new project, this new life, this new way of being, I'll give you a minute to contemplate on what it is that you want to create, that you want to generate, that you want to manifest in your life today and here on and henceforth. I'll give you a minute to think about it, discuss it with Archangel Gabriel and Hope, and ask them if it is appropriate for you to create what you have in mind. You will not hear my voice for the next 1 minute, while you prepare to manifest what you want in your life today and here on and here forth. Now, as you have contemplated and decided on what you need to manifest in your life today, here on and henceforth, you share it with Archangel Gabriel and Hope and ask them to help you to manifest your idea, to help you to create this new reality, to help you to birth this idea into the real world. Archangel Gabriel and Hope step forward and gently they touch your solar plexus and call Archangel Uriel as well to help you to take charge of your life. Archangel Uriel comes into this space and stands by. He infuses his beautiful golden light into your solar plexus. This helps you to take charge of your life. You know now when to be and when to do, when to take charge and when to let go. With this wonderful power of being able to take charge of yourself. You feel absolutely glorified and happy and completely at ease, stable and secure. Archangel Gabriel and Hope now touch your sacral chakra and your navel chakra, your masculine and your feminine aspects of your being. They infuse their beautiful, brilliant light, orange and pink light, into these two chakras. You see your chakras glowing orange and glowing pink, enhancing the divine masculine within you, enhancing the divine feminine within you, helping you to be practical yet sensitive, helping you to do and yet be, helping you to balance both your masculine and feminine energies. With Archangel Uriel's light, you are able to discern and decide which energy is to be used at what time, where, when, and how. That is the power of being in charge of your own life, being in charge of your own ideas, being in charge of your regeneration, of your rebirth. Slowly, you feel the expansiveness of your sacral chakra and your navel chakra. Both the chakras are being infused with new life, new energy, becoming vibrant and pulsating and throbbing with a life, with new life, with new energy, with new vibrancy. And you see the two chakras then beginning to merge into each other, blending your masculine and feminine in the very proportions that you may require at this point of time in your life. Feel this balance. Feel this equanimity within your being. Feel this equanimity of your doing. You become the embodiment of ancient wisdom. You become the embodiment of a new chapter beginning in your life. You begin to feel and operate through the heart. You begin to let go of the mind and you begin to let go of the karmic cycles that no more serve you. There's a new chapter beginning in your life with these balanced energies. You are ready to take on this new chapter. You are ready to rebirth into a new world. You are ready to birth yourself once again Remember, you're in the cosmic womb, creating and generating a new life. When the merging of your sacral and your navel chakra is done, Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Hope step back, looking at you with so much pride in their eyes. They are so proud of you that you took this step forward because they know that this is what the world needs today: a balanced approach, a new way of thinking, a new way of being, a new way of life. You look at them, you look into their eyes with gratitude and a feeling of wholeness and completeness washing all over you. You may feel a little tingling in the cranial cavity, like just underneath your skull. Might feel a little bit of tingling in the left side and the right side. Your masculine and feminine energy is coming alive in their divinity, moving from the 3D, from the third dimensional existence to through the fourth dimension and onwards towards the fifth dimensional existence. Archangel Uriel is also beaming a beautiful smile. He congratulates you, he hugs you, and tells you you are now ready to birth a new you. He leads you to the other end of this dark tunnel that you have been seated in for so long, doing this wonderful work of regeneration, recreation, and rebirthing. He takes the lead, and you walk behind him in his light, in his beautiful, brilliant golden light, which illuminates the darkness, and you walk behind him, following his light. When you reach the end of the tunnel, he disappears, and you see the light of the day. And at the same time, you see the darkness of the night. On one side is the brilliant sun shining daylight, and on the other side, you see the gentle moon shining the moonlight. And you wonder, how is this even possible? The sun and the moon at the same place, at the same time? How? And then it dawns on you when Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Hope come behind you and give you a little nudge. And then you remember, oh yes, my masculine and feminine energies within me have been balanced and equanimated. And now I'm able to see both day and light with the same love, with the same gentleness, with the same vibrancy that I felt for the day and for the night. You know this day and night reside within you. The sun and the moon reside within you. Their energies live in you, and you are free to use them when and as you feel it right. Thanking the sun and the moon, you step out into the beautiful world, this new world that you have created for yourself, birthing a new you into a new world. Thanking Archangel Gabriel and Archangel, you make your way back to your earthly consciousness, coming back to this place, to your room, to your house on this planet Earth, knowing that a new life awaits you, a new life of equanimity, a new life of balance. Taking a deep breath, become aware of your body, become aware of your surroundings, the sounds in your room, the seat on which you are seated. Flex your fingers, your toes, stretch your arms, and as and when you feel ready, open your eyes with the knowledge that yes, it is indeed wonderful and possible to birth a new me, a new you, and a new world. Slowly, as and when you feel ready, please open your eyes, come back, integrate all your personalities, all your bodies, gather yourself together. If you have water, please take a sip of water. Rub your hands together. Rub your hands until they are warm enough. Place them on your face, on your arms. Rub them over the body. And chop, chop. Come on. Back to reality. All right. Everybody's back. Feeling good? Yeah, give me a thumbs up. Lovely. Lovely. All right. How is everybody feeling?
Yutika, I think I slept through a major part of the exercise in a very deep slumber. I kept drifting in and out. I thought, I don't know. But that's what
That's
it
all
felt like.
right. That's okay, Vikrant. That's not a problem at all. Because even if though you have drifted away, your subconscious has absorbed all the like whatever was going through, and it has happened in your space.
Thank you. Anyway, we do the exercise once it's put up, even if it's not the new moon and the solar eclipse. I'll redo it once, probably at a more conducive time. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Most welcome. It's a good thing sometimes when you are like, in complete surrender mode. So a deeper work does happen at that, in that state of consciousness.
Great.
So
Wonderful.
nothing to worry about at all.
Thank you.
It's just that, like, again, like I said, we are always wanting to be in a state of doing, And that's why we want to remember what happened, what she did. Okay,
True, very true, very true.
you understand? Right? You want to remember what did she do, but you were being, yeah, you were in a state of being. So like, it's all good. It's absolutely
Thank you.
fantastic.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Like I said, in the space of being, everything is possible, isn't it? So don't
We
worry.
didn't know how and where were we traveling, what were we doing, do not remember anything.
That's perfectly okay. Not a problem at all.
Thank you,
That is
Jyotika.
true. That is true surrender mode, and this is a true state of being.
Thank you so very much. God bless you.
Most
Say
welcome.
something? Yeah,
Anybody
Sangeeta.
wants to say something? Yeah. Yeah,
So
Sangeeta.
I have off late, I have been in this turmoil, like I am so fortunate to be here in this process because I have been this, the having, doing, being, that turmoil. Also,
Okay.
like I wanted like the need to do and want was for a particular thing was very much like, so I was always thinking, okay, is it right? So today in this process, that's what like happened, and I got the right answer, and I went through the whole process very beautifully. I
So
could
happy for
do
you.
it, so I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
I'm so glad.
I'm
it
very
worked out for
relieved
you,
actually, after this process.
I'm glad
Thank
to
you.
hear that. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
happy to hear that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, darling. Thank you so much. All right. So, shall we wrap it up here now? I can see a lot of messages are coming on the chat box. Yes, please do send your messages. Do send your questions or whatever they are. I will have a look at them later and address all the questions that are there, and maybe get an idea of what we need to do next. Yeah. Because the more you'll share with me, the more I will be able to give y'all what is needed by you at this point of time, isn't it? Okay. So,
Can I say
and
something? Can I ask you something?
yes, who's that?
I'm Vibha.
Yes,
Vibha
Vibha.
Kacholia.
Yeah, Vibha.
Okay,
tell.
thank you for the beautiful process. But I just wanted to know that, as Vikrant rightly said, that he went to sleep. Usually, similar kind of thing happens with me. But today, it was not sleep, but today I was like, I didn't want to make any effort. Like whatever you were guiding, I was just, kind of in a comfort zone where I didn't want to do anything and I was half asleep or something like that. So this is what usually happens. Like I can't take charge of my whatever I need, whatever work I need to do while the process is on. And I feel very miserable about it most of the times.
Sorry. You don't really have to feel bad about that, darling. Like I said, you feel that you're not in control of yourself, right? But then that, like I said, it's a surrender mode. Your mind needs that rest. Remember, doing is also a lot of mind chatter happening.
Yeah.
Right? Even if we are sitting quietly, we are constantly like thinking, talking in our head. We're either talking to somebody else or we are either talking to ourselves. Isn't it? So that doing is constantly happening, and that is what the state of like doing is all about. And it needs rest. It needs to just be sometimes. And when your brain, when your body gets that opportunity to just be, it grabs it with both hands. And it shuts down the filter of your mind chatter and puts you into a sleep. You're like, okay, just be. It's your
So
body
you
responding.
mean my mind is very tired?
Could be. Could be. You tell me. You tell me, how do you feel?
Yeah, because the moment the process is going to get over, just before that, like I'm wide awake and I'm like, okay. And then next moment it happens, look, okay, now you can open your eyes. And I'm like, okay, the entire process, I've been sleeping, and just before, how my mind knows that now it's time to wake
Absolutely.
up. And so
that's the body consciousness, that's the mind consciousness, all working in your favor. And then, of course, when we are calling the angels, they also, like, navigate us through what our body needs, what our consciousness needs, what our mind needs at that point of time.
So you mean my mind is still not prepared for the conscious meditation or any process like that?
Why would you say that?
No, because as you said, I'm tired. My mind is tired. This way I can't.
No, so though your mind goes quiet. When you go into a sleep mode, your mind goes quiet so that it can absorb all what is happening in the meditation. Your mind and your body overrides your mind chatter, the busyness of your mind. And it puts you in a state where you are better able to absorb everything. Our body is very intelligent, our mind is intelligent, our spirit is very intelligent. It knows exactly what we need. And if we don't do it consciously, it finds ways of, like, getting us the benefit. If we fight it, and then of course, like, then everything can go haywire. But if you don't find it, if you go with the flow, it works.
Okay.
It works.
So it's all right.
It's all
Thank
right.
you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Jyotika, may I ask you
Yes,
something?
darling.
While during the meditation, I could get some very pleasant smell.
Oh, lovely. That is
It was
fantastic.
very pleasant.
Angels do waft a fragrance when they are around. Like sometimes you're just sitting around and, like, you might get a certain fragrance and you might wonder, is it a flower or is it some perfume or whatever? And you look around and probably there's absolutely nothing. But it's the angels' way of making their presence felt.
I get it very often.
There's, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I also have this particular smell that I get at times, and when I didn't know about angel therapy, I used to wonder what that smell is, what that fragrance is. But now I know, like, it's one of the angels, like, being around me, letting me know, okay, like, they have my back. All right. Okay.
Another question by Kiran, who says, how do we know who our guardian angel is? Kiran, I think I'll share the first session we did with Jyotika.
Yes, the first one. Yeah, the first one.
Where we met our
the very first one.
So I think
that was quite a raw session. I like to think that I've improved a lot after that.
We've all. And thanks to you.
Yeah, thank you for your support and everything. Like, it's been wonderful.
Thank you so much for this.
And yeah, it's time to wrap up now. Okay. Thank you all for being over here.
Thank you.
On this wonderful day of solar plexus and new moon. And
Thank you so much.
Happy new moon to all of y'all and happy rebirthing.
Wish you the same.
Happy new life.
Same to everyone.
Same to you.
Thank you.
Same to everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you and good night, everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.